Imagine drifting at sea, not in battle, but abandoned. No sirens, no rescue, just the silence of the tide and the sound of your own heartbeat, slowing. Your name forgotten, your fate swallowed whole. No one to mourn, no one to remember. What's left is not just a shipwreck, but a question. How does a story vanish before it was ever told? They boarded quietly in the dead of night. More than 1,800 men, British prisoners of war, marched into the belly of a ship that had no windows and no goodbyes. They thought they were going home, but the Lisbon Maru was no rescue vessel. It was a prison, one that moved. As the ship pulled away from shore, the sea swallowed the skyline. No one waved, no one knew, only the ocean and the secret it carried. On the morning of October 1st, 1942, a US submarine spotted the Lisbon Maru. They saw no POW markings. They fired. A torpedo hit the stern, and the sea opened its mouth. The Japanese guards locked the hatches. Water rushed in, and they sealed them shut. Trapped below, the prisoners screamed. But steel doesn't answer screams. For hours, they waited. Water rising, light fading. Some prayed, some wrote names on walls. Some held the hands of those who couldn't swim. And when the ship finally began to sink, there was no panic anymore. Only silence and the sound of drowning. As the first light touched the sea, the Lisbon Maru was gone. All that remained were bodies drifting in silence, swimming without direction, nearly out of hope. Some tore wood from the wreckage. They swam, guided only by a dim glow at the edge of the sky, and in that silence, they prayed for one thing: to be seen. There were no radars, no rescue planes, no government response, just fishing boats from the Zhoushan coast. They saw the white dots far out in the sea, and they knew. They didn't ask for orders. They didn't hesitate. They simply knew. Someone was drowning, and they rowed. The fishermen pulled up fragile bodies. They didn't ask about flags or uniforms. They didn't ask whose side. Some lived. Some had already passed. But if even one could still breathe, they pulled. In a world set on fire by war, there was a quiet corner where the human heart hadn't burned away. After the war ended, no one mentioned Lisbon Maru. The survivors were told to go home. No compensation, no public hearings, no memorials. It was as if it never happened. And in official reports, only a few lines. No names, no guilt, no depth, just numbers and silence. Some say it was inconvenient to talk about. The Allies had their share of secrets, and the Japanese, they had no incentive to apologize. So Lisbon Maru remained, a ghost ship, floating not in water, but in the blank space between history books. In a small room, 50 years later,
the nightmares never truly leave you, not entirely.
I still remember the smell of the hull burning, the screaming, how I couldn't help the man next to me. He never told his children.
The Lisbon Maru.
It never left. Not with time. Not with peace. A photo was found. A group of young men smiling aboard a train, 1941. One of them didn't come back. His brother kept that photo on his wall for 60 years. He never said much. Just, he went east and never returned. In one cottage near Leeds, an old mother set the table for 3. Her youngest went to war. Never came back, but she left his seat. Every night, just in case today was the day he returned. In a dusty bureau drawer, there was a letter. Stamped, addressed, but never opened. No one knows who wrote it. No one dared to read it. It just stayed there, untouched, unspoken, unread. Sometimes, silence says more than any words ever could. The ocean forgets nothing, but we do. We move on, rebuild, repave, and we forget the names written in the salt. The Lisbon Maru did not vanish. We simply closed our eyes. No monument stands for the forgotten. No flag waves above the unrecorded. Only in quiet voices and old diaries do they live on. History didn't silence them. We did. What we remember shapes who we become. A name, a story, a forgotten face, they become anchors, not to hold us back, but to remind us what it cost to move forward. Divers near Joshan have reported strange silence, no wreck, no visible trace, but a pressure, a stillness beneath the waves, as if something was lost there, and the ocean remembers. No memorial marks the Lisbon Maru in China, and yet some fishermen still drop flowers. They don't know the names, they only feel the water stir differently there. In sleep, some descendants still dream of waves, of screams they never heard, of lights fading beneath water. They don't know why. But memory, like blood, sometimes passes down quietly. History is what gets recorded. Memory is what refuses to be erased. No textbook speaks of Lisbon Maru, but some families still light candles every year because memory doesn't ask permission to stay. Thousands went down with no last word, no goodbye, no letter, only water and silence. But if we speak of them, they live again, even if only in this moment. We cannot carry every sorrow, but we can choose one and carry it well, because in choosing to remember, we declare, this mattered, they mattered. The Lisbon Maru is not just a sunken ship. It is a memory the world tried to bury. But memory only fades if we let it. If this story touched you, share it. Not just the video, but the remembrance. And if you believe in remembering the forgotten, subscribe to Dark Hidden History
More stories
so we can keep
they
their stories
tried to
alive
erase.
together.